Adam Fravel, the man convicted of killing Madeline Kingsbury, is appealing his conviction to the Minnesota Supreme Court. The appeal was filed today. Kingsbury went missing from the Winona area in March of 2023 until the grim discovery of her remains in June of that year. Fravel is her ex-boyfriend and the father of her two young children. Fravel's trial lasted a month, and the jury ultimately returned a guilty verdict on all 4 charges. In December, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.